Aw, shit. Here we go again.
Welcome to the Sloppy Book Club podcast. I'm Jenny.
And I'm Celese. And we are currently on season 2, episode 11. This is going to be a fun and quick episode. We're going to do, obviously, a wine and a wine tasting. And then we're just going to wrap up the month of February. We're just going to briefly talk about some books that we read this month. Highlight the ones that we really enjoyed and talk about it. So it's just going to be, kind of like blurbs of all the books we read separately. And I think there's only one that we read together for the month of February and talked about. And the rest are strictly like your books, my books. There's quite a few. So we'll try to keep it, short, Celese. So I'll try my very, very best. I'm not really good at summarizing if you haven't noticed, but I'll try my hardest this time. So let's get to those wines. What do you have, Jen?
So I have a Pinot Grigio.
Oh, fancy.
This cute little bottle.
It's a cute bottle.
Luna de Luna.
Luna de Luna. Okay.
Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, it smells like white wine, like any normal white wine, but yeah, that's bitter. It's not awful, but it's bitter. Not sweet like I'm used to.
Right.
I could drink it.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, I could deal with it. Yeah,
that's a step up because there's been some wines where it's just been a sip and you're like, nope.
Yeah, it's usually the red ones that are like that for me, but this one I could handle. Okay, I think I got it.
Nice.
I hope.
So, I'll be doing my little mini bottle because my husband is tired of buying me big bottles and he's like, no more. So I got my little bottle here of Sutter Home. It's a fruit infusion wild berry wine. So
That sounds really good.
Open
Do you actually have a cup for that? I would have drank it out of the bottle.
I was going to drink it out of the bottle, but, I'm trying to be classy and civilized.
Okay.
So
better than I am.
Delicious.
Good. Yep.
Yeah.
I knew it was gonna be good.
It's kind of sparkly like a seltzer, and then it has like that wild berry taste, which is really, really nice. You really taste the strawberry more than anything.
Yeah.
There's wild berry, but you really taste the strawberry. I might have to buy a couple of these and have them in the fridge.
You should.
Because look, it's like a perfect little.
Yeah, it's one glass. That's awesome.
So
that's what I need to do. I get rid of so much wine. It's so bad.
He was like, no, I'm not buying you any more bottles because you don't drink them all. And then you complain about it. So he was like, I'm not spending the money no more. So I have to get the
That's why I go like back and forth between like mixed drinks and then wine, because mixed drinks, I'll drink them. So
I just wish that there was more small bottles.
Yeah.
Because I went to the store and I was looking, for things. And I'm like, there's not a big selection of like just smaller bottle wine. So hey, wine connoisseurs and people who have a winery, I
don't think anyone would want to give us their wine with our reactions to half of it.
That's true.
Yeah. They're like, no, fuck that.
Some iconic reactions. Nothing beats the chicken water one. Do you remember that?
Yes. Embarrassing.
Yep. You said it tasted like chicken water.
I did.
We don't know what chicken water tastes like, but she said that.
It was like the smell, like, ooh, I don't know. Moving on.
Right. You see, there I go rambling. Sorry, let's get back to it. All right, our February wrap up.
Yeah.
My very first book on the list is one that we did a full episode 9. It's YA fantasy Legend Born by Tracy Deonn. Again, if you want to hear an in-depth, review of this book, check out episode 9 of season 2. Again, it's a YA fantasy. It's basically like a Arthur and his knights kind of retelling in a more like updated version.
A modern retelling.
Yeah. And it was really good. It was one of our
amazing
favorites.
Yeah, it was definitely amazing.
So I would definitely look at that episode or hear that episode because it was a really good book. It's full of spoilers, just to let you know. So if you want to listen to that, you can.
Yes. I didn't even add that to my list because I read it beforehand. So I didn't even think about it.
Yeah. No worries.
So I should have added it. Thank you. No worries. And I don't have mine in any particular order. I just started adding them. But my first one is Wings of Ebony and Ashes of Gold by J.L. And that was part of like my TBR jar challenge because I'm trying to knock out all these physical books that I have.
Good for you.
I'm trying. So I did 2 this month, and they are a YA urban fantasy, and it's about a girl who witnesses her mom's death and immediately gets taken away to her father's like homeland. It's like this fictional island that she didn't even know existed, and it's all magic. Like everyone there has magic. It was really good. The first one wasn't as good as the second one, but I enjoyed it.
Nice. Great. So I'm going to go into my sci-fi romance. It's called Flora's Fiasco. It's a Ruby Dixon book. This is actually book 17 in the Ice Home series. So if you're not familiar with the Planet Barbarian series, that's like 22 books. So if you're not familiar, it's basically about a bunch of women who were abducted at some point in their life to become like alien sex slaves kind of thing. Their plane crashes on this island. Their captors are killed, and basically they're now on this ice planet with blue aliens who love them very passionately.
And they get boned.
Basically. In order to survive on this planet, you basically have to put in like almost like they call it a kuai. It's almost like a parasite kind of thing that you have to have in you in order to live. I know, kind of weird, but these like things in you find you your mate. Basically, you resonate, which is like it vibrates, and then if someone else vibrates, that means that it means that that's your mate. So then there's like passion and love, and you know, at first they're like, I don't want to be with you kind of thing, but then
I didn't know that it was like that.
Yeah,
like you have a parasite in you, and that's how you find your mate.
I mean, that's the only way I can kind of like describe it, is it being a parasite. It's another living thing inside of you.
Okay,
Interesting. But I love this series.
Yeah, people love that series.
There's actually there's Ice Planet Barbarians. That's the first series, and then it's like sister series is Ice. What is it? Ice Home. Yeah, Ice Home, which is basically about how these new women were kind of dropped off along with these other male aliens and the chaos that they bring to this new kind of home kind of thing. And they set up their own home within the ice planet, basically. And now the end of book 17 of this series is opening up another series within this. That's ridiculous. World. So it's like three different series in this one little world.
That's insane.
I absolutely love it, because I'm the type of person that when you hear about characters, I like to know what's happening after, like their story. So I love that each book kind of touches on all the other characters from previous books. So that's why I love it so much. It's like a comfort read for me. So so this one is called Flora's Fiasco, and it's basically her finding her mate at this time. She thought it would be one alien, and it winds up being someone else, and it just brings chaos, and it's just good.
I'm glad you liked it.
Yep.
So my next one is The Choice by Eve Marion, and that one's actually the third book in the series. I read the other two sometime last year, and it's a billionaire romance series.
Oh, yes, I remember you mentioning this.
Yeah. Weird that I like it, but I do like it. This one was actually the best one of the three. It's about these brothers, the Crawford brothers, who own this big billionaire business, their love stories, drama, suspense, all that good stuff. But I really liked it. She was actually the very first author that I connected with when I first started doing this whole bookstagram thing,
Nice.
and I've been reading every single one of her books since then. This
So
is
she's like an
number
instant
6.
read.
Yeah.
She's an
Anything
instant author.
I read. Yep.
That's awesome. I
Yeah.
love authors like that.
I know.
My next one is like rom-com, a romantic comedy. Again, this I touched on this one on episode 10 during our 1-year anniversary episode. This is called The Chemistry of Love by Soraya Wilson. Another really, really good book. It's basically about a girl named Anna. She's like a cosmetic chemist. She's in love with a guy at work who really doesn't know who she is. She's barely even spoken to him, but she's head over heels in love with him. And so she finds out he's getting engaged, and she runs into his half brother Marco, and he kind of like tells her, let's fake date, because one, his brother always is in competition with him, and anything he has, he wants. So he knows that if they fake date, you know, her love interest would kind of like want her kind of thing. And Marco's doing it because he knows his brother's fiance is only agreeing to marriage because of the money. She's just like basically like a gold digger. So he's like, I'll help you, you help me kind of thing. And obviously it's a fake romance. You know what happens. But it's a good book. And Anna's chaotic and super cringe, but I loved her.
I cringed listening to you talk about it.
Yeah, she was kind of super cringe, but I enjoyed it.
All right, my next one is The Gargoyle's Cupid by Mary Lou Moser, and this one's actually a novella, and it's part of like this novella series that she's doing.
Okay.
The last one I read was for Christmas. It was The Gargoyle's Gift. So it follows the same characters, but I think she's going to do like different holiday themed books for them, which I thought was really cool. So this one came out on Valentine's Day, so it was very like lovey-dovey, but it's really cute. It's a monster romance. This is the one with the vibrating tail. It's really good. Fun, quick. It's probably like less than 100 pages. It's really fun to read. So,
awesome. I like that. And I mean, a vibrating tail. Like, who wouldn't want that? All right. My next one is The Perfect Marriage. It's a psychological thriller by Geneva Rose. And there's a lot of hype about this book, and I don't know why. It wasn't for me. So basically it's about this woman named Sarah. She's like this amazing defense attorney. She's very well known, very career driven, and her husband is accused of killing his mistress, and so she takes on his case to prove her husband's innocence. It wasn't for me. I know a lot of people who love this book, but for me, I get it. It's a work of fiction, but I want it to be kind of realistic if it's a crime. Like, and some of the parts just, it wouldn't fly in the real world.
Yeah.
Like, it just wouldn't happen. So, that for one, I'm pretty sure you can't defend your husband for a crime.
Yeah, probably not.
So I don't know. Maybe I'm not a lawyer, so maybe I'm wrong in that sense. But it just
doesn't seem right. It doesn't
especially
seem right.
when she was never a suspect. Like they never thought of her as a suspect, and I'm like, if the mistress is killed, wouldn't she be suspect number one? So whatever. But The Perfect Marriage, yeah.
All right.
I mean, if
So
you
my
want to
next
give it a
one,
go, you can.
I personally would not, but thank you. So my next one is Haunting Adeline by H.D. Carlton.
This is a
This
popular
one,
one.
oh my God, it's been sitting on my list forever. Everybody loves it. So I dove in. So fucking good.
Is it? Okay.
So good. You shouldn't like it. You shouldn't like anything that happens in this book. It's a stalker romance, but you root for the stalker, which is insane.
So
I'm like,
so you know how like morally gray
oh
character
no.
that's
He's
the
not
limits, but this isn't that.
he's not morally gray. He's just bad.
Okay.
But you learn to love him.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Like he's creepy. Like he's a super creepy stalker.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the things he does, you're like, that's not okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Is
kind of
he
like,
like Joe from You? Remember
yes,
Joe?
yeah.
He
Oh
split
yeah, he's Joe.
outside.
He's
Okay.
Joe.
He's
Yes.
Joe. Okay.
Yes.
So maybe that's the
A
fastest.
little worse, I
Okay.
think. But he's Joe. Yes.
Okay. Maybe that's what
But you root for Joe, right? You like him.
yeah, you kind of
You
do.
shouldn't. No part of you should like him, but you
No.
do. Yes. So that was Haunting Adeline.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
I've heard it
It's
all.
it's so good. I heard Haunting Adeline book 2 is even worse,
Oh
but
my.
really good. I know. So I'm kind of nervous.
Mm-hmm. All right. My next one is a romance. Grumpy Meets Sunshine, Second Chance Romance, Opposites Attract, Childhood Crush, all those kinds of themes. It's called Secretly Yours by Tessa Bailey. This is I can only describe it as a Tessa Bailey book. You're going to get romance, you're going to get comedy, you're going to get sex, you're going to get drama, like you're going to get all those themes within one. So basically it's about Haley. She's like this eccentric, free-spirited gardener. Julian is like a strict professor, stay by the book, very scheduled. And he is back in town at his family's vineyard to write a book. His mom hires Haley to basically do some, gardening around their home. And she remembers him. He doesn't remember her right off the bat. But she's always held him in a really high regard because of things that she witnessed him doing when they were younger and, in high school. So basically, they're kind of like not wanting to be attracted to each other, but they are just because of their differences. They're like, how can we get along? How would this work kind of thing? So of course they're self-destructing each other kind of in the relationship. Some of the scenes are cringy. The spice scenes, especially the one in the kitchen, that was kind of weird, right? In the kitchen.
That was kind of weird.
But it's a Tessa Bailey book. Like she's really good about testing those boundaries when it comes to intimacy. So interesting read. I liked it. I'm a fan of hers. Not everyone is, but I enjoy her books.
All right. I don't think I've ever read anything Tessa Bailey.
I don't think you have.
Yeah. All right. So my next one is Radiant Sin by Katie Robert. I love me some Katie Robert.
Yes.
This is book 4 in the Dark Olympus series. So this is Cassandra and Apollo's story. Perfection all the way through, as usual. I didn't expect anything less. It's a slow burn, fake dating, forced proximity, has a ton of spice.
Oh, that's
all of it.
That's a perfect book. It's everything you want in a good book.
And every single one of these books in this series is just like that. It's everything you want in a book, except with different people. But it's like what you mentioned, like you get to hear about other characters from other books in the series.
Okay.
This is just like that because you see characters from all the books.
And this was the most recent one, right?
Yeah, this came out this month.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. Oh, she's like,
they're so good.
I want to read her book so bad. I'm just like,
and there's going to be 10 of them.
There's 10 of them?
There's 10 of these books. This is book 4. I know.
So she's in the process. She says that there are going to be 10.
There's 10. She's already listed out which one is going to be about who. Yeah. They're so good though.
I'm gonna have to jump on it.
Yeah.
I'm 4 books behind.
You are, and you're about to be 5 because the next one comes out this summer.
Oh my
I'm
word.
like waiting.
I cannot. When am I ever gonna have time? There's so many
I
books
don't know.
that I want to read, and like you tell me how great they are, and I'm like, ah.
Just keep adding them.
I know. My pocket, my bank account is screaming.
Use the freaking library.
No.
That's what I do. I use the library app now. Yeah, but you could get ebooks. You read on your Kindle.
I know.
You could just borrow them from the library. That's what I've been doing.
What do you mean?
Like the Libby app. You've never used the Libby app?
No. What is that?
So get yourself a library card. You could do it online
I
from
don't think they're gonna
whatever.
give me one because I never
Why?
returned my books. I
I
probably
think
will.
just try it or do it from like a different town. I have 2 library cards from my town and from Boston, and they're both on the Libby app, and I could borrow books from both.
Hypothetically, right? Hypothetically, they're like from different towns.
You could do it when you do it online. You could do it wherever.
Okay.
Why?
Because I don't think you're supposed to have more than one. So this is like,
Why not? What do you mean? A library's free for everyone.
yeah, but you can have more than one in different towns and they're not going to say anything.
Yes, it's my app. And both of the library cards are on my app with my name on it.
Okay. I learned something new today.
Yeah, and then you return it. They're ebooks. They don't care who's borrowing them.
So you don't have to wait like you usually do.
Well, if a lot of people are borrowing the ebooks, they're only allotted so many. And then you have to wait, but they'll notify you whenever they're good.
It's probably a faster system though.
Yeah, I haven't had to wait more than 2 weeks for a book.
Okay.
Usually it's right away, but yeah.
I have to look into that.
The more you know. That. Yes, Libby.
I'm so behind. Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
I'm over here purchasing or doing Kindle Unlimited.
Yeah, if it's not on KU, I check Libby, and then if it's not, then I'll buy it.
Good. You see, this is why we talk things out. My next book is a women's fiction. It's In 5 Years by Rebecca Surley. It's about Danny, and she is basically someone who has her whole life planned out for her, for herself. So on this particular day, she's going out to this job interview for her dream job, and she knows that she's gonna land it. And then that same night, she knows her boyfriend's gonna propose to her because he's someone who's similar to her in that aspect, where they kind of like plan things. So she knew that they had like a time frame of when they wanted to get proposed and when they wanted to get married. So he's right at that ending, and she knows that he's going to propose because of where they're going out that night, like the place. It's like a really fancy restaurant. So she's like, okay, I know tonight's the night. So when they get home, they celebrate. And then when she goes to bed, she falls asleep, and then she wakes up abruptly, and she's basically 5 years into the future, and she's only there for an hour. And in that hour, she notices a lot of changes. She knows that she's wearing a different ring than the one her boyfriend gave her, or now her fiance. She's in a brand new apartment, and there's like this guy she's never met before in her home, but she knows like there's a connection between them. So she's like, what the fuck is going on? And then she winds up falling back asleep, and she wakes up in her, in her present and in her apartment again. And for like the next 4.5 years, she's just trying to shake that 5-year premonition or whatever it was. And this was an interesting read that has me still thinking about it from time to time. So I think I might want to talk about this in an episode because it was interesting.
Okay.
I'll tell you if we do it.
I'm interested. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So yeah, it was that
All
one.
right. Cool.
It's
Cool. I'm
fiction.
interested.
In 5 years, Rebecca
All
Search.
right.
I hope I'm saying her last name right.
You probably aren't, but we'll move on. So my next one is Living Legend by Ali Shanti. I don't know if that's how you say it, but I'm going with it. And I just posted about this one. It's so good. It's an arc and it comes out March 1st, I believe. And it's an adult fantasy. It's about angels and demons and them kind of working together to figure out who breached Heaven's Gates. It's a dual point of view. The spice caught me by surprise. It was fucking good. Like every time I would like get to a point where I'm like, oh my God, I would get up and message the author, like, what the fuck? It was so much fun to like read it, be so goddamn stressed out about it, and then yell at the author for it. That's my new hobby. But it's so good. I really, really liked it. Definitely go check it out for sure.
That sounds good.
So good.
My next one is called Saving Ruby King by Catherine Adele West. This was a very emotional read. It's sad. It's about basically a family with secrets. They hang on to their faith, and it's sad. It's a really sad book. So basically, Ruby King's mom, Alice, is found murdered in like their Chicago home. And the police just, they brush it as, oh, another, South Side Chicago, violence, whatever. They're like, they'll do their best to find out what happened. But her death kind of, it's like a domino effect of events that happen after it, because that one death kind of affects not only Ruby and her family, but Ruby's best friend's family, and how both of these families have just been connected through basically like generational trauma. And now all these secrets are opening up just from this one person's passing, basically.
Yeah.
And so, Ruby and her best friend are uncovering all these secrets, and it's crazy. And the ending is, what am I trying to say? Unexpected, especially who we find out, who murdered Alice and things like that. And, the events that led up to it. And you're just like, wait, what? So it was a really good book. I especially like this story because they do talk about faith and going into the church, and the church itself has a personality. So you get the point of view of Ruby, you get the point of view of Ruby's dad, Ruby's best friend, and Ruby's best friend's dad too. So both dads, both of the best friends, and then you get the church.
That's a lot of point of views.
But they all connect, which was really good. Oh, and you also get the point of view of Ruby's grandmother.
Okay.
And Layla, which is her best friend,
that's all right. I'm cutting it off. I'm cutting it off at 6. That's a little much.
I'm kind of like, no, it was quite a few, but it was really, really good. The way she was able to storytell and connect all these people within this one book, because like you said, when there's a lot of point of views, a lot of things could get like lost or confusing. But I didn't feel that way. It was really easy to connect the dots, and like, I don't know, she's just a really good storyteller. It was really good. I enjoyed it.
Awesome.
Saving Ruby King by Catherine Adele West. And this was like her debut book. And she has another book, I think it's the Two Lives of Sarah or something like that. It's another book that I've seen around.
I'm pretty sure I own that.
Do you?
I'm pretty sure.
The grandma.
Well, if it is, then you can have it, because I don't remember when I got it, or
if you Let me know because it's kind of like a prequel.
Oh my God. I would have been so mad reading it
Mm-hmm.
and it being a fucking prequel to something.
I don't think you. So people say you don't technically need to read Saving Ruby, but you would understand
Yeah.
Sarah more.
I own that book.
You do?
I'm like 90% sure it looks completely familiar.
Yeah.
Sitting on my fucking shelf.
Well, let me know. I'll take it and I'll
Okay.
read it because
Yes,
it's.
ma'am.
I already know that book is gonna make me super sad. So,
Okay.
because
All
this
right,
book
I'll
made
look.
me sad. So, and
I
Sarah,
will look for you.
Sarah,
Okay. You
she
can
makes
have it then.
okay. But yeah, your turn.
Jesus. All right. So my next one is Learn to Love You by Jade Hernandez. And that one actually comes out February 27th. So tomorrow. This one is a straight cozy romance. Did not expect to love it as much as I have.
Mhm.
Definitely one of my top reads so far in 2023.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's a fucking romance. I gotta
Mm.
stop saying that I don't read romance because I've been reading a lot of romance lately, and it's kind of like, it's weird to me. But this
I
one is
love it.
about Junior and Maida, and he basically lives on a ranch with his entire family. She's like that one friend where you like, that one friend that sleeps over your house all the time. They're like part of the family. That's what she is. So it's like childhood friends, best friends, brother kind of love story. It's
Okay.
emotional, it's fun, it's spicy, and I enjoyed it from beginning to end. Like I blew through this entire book.
And you
It
said
was
it
so
comes
good.
out tomorrow?
27th. Yep, tomorrow.
Nice,
Mm-hmm.
nice, nice. I love
Yeah.
that.
And
So,
she'll be at a Polycon. FYI.
oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a physical book? Or not
I
yet?
will. I pre-ordered it.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. My next book is 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. And it's a second chance romance without the rainbows and butterflies. Because I feel like a lot of like second chance romances are like rom-com kind of.
Mm-hmm.
They're, the characters are likable and you want them together, but this one had like really complex characters because they had such traumatic upbringings that they were self-destructive at very young ages with like drugs, alcohol, all these kinds of things. So they kind of like gravitated to each other because of that.
Mm-hmm.
And so like it's basically about Eva and Shane and how this one week in June they have this crazy romance and they're indulging in those kinds of destructive vices that they have, and they're doing it in front of each other, basically like this is who I am, take it or leave it kind of thing, and they're both like clinging on to like wanting acceptance and love and friendship. So even though we get these dual point of views of like they're not really okay with what the other one is doing, they kind of like understand where they're coming from.
Mm.
And so one day during their 7 days together, something happens and their relationship ends abruptly, and they're both kind of like they as adults they still think about it. So 15 years has passed. Eva is a best-selling author, and so is Shane. He's a novelist, and they've secretly been kind of writing to each other within their books without really
Oh,
realizing
that's
it, kind of
sweet.
thing. And so during a book event, they're face to face again, and basically now it's another week in June, and it's basically, do they rekindle and forgive each other for past mistakes, or do they finally end their relationship for real this time, kind of thing. And it was emotional, it was great writing, there were some really funny moments in it, but really sad moments, and she almost got me in the end because I was just like, wait, what? But then, you know, she changed it up and I was like, oh, okay. So I'm happy with
She
the
fixed
ending.
it. Okay.
She fixed it. But she had me for a minute. I was just like, wait, this can't happen. But she tricked me and it was really, really good. 7 Days in June by Tia Williams.
Nice,
But
nice.
Self-harm, drugs, alcohol, depression, and addiction.
Yeah, we probably should have mentioned that to begin with. A lot of these have trigger warnings.
Yeah.
Most of them have trigger warnings.
I
So
know.
check those out.
The last two that I mentioned, yeah, check the trigger warnings.
Yeah.
Those were the most like emotional books that I read that had like so much things going on. But they were really good.
Yeah, all of mine do. So so my last one is actually one that I want to talk about on our next episode, so I won't really say much about it. It's When Oceans Rise by Robin Alvarez, and it's a young adult fantasy Little Mermaid retelling, but it's like super unique and twisty. And that's it. But I'm not going to say it. Yeah, it's very pretty. It's a very pretty book.
A pretty book.
It's a very pretty book.
I don't think I've ever heard you describe a book as pretty, so I'm interested to learn more about it. But you're gonna have to check out the next episode.
Yep.
You want to know about this pretty book.
This pretty book.
But yeah, that was my last one too.
All right. So that was it. Nice quick episode, a little wrap up. Awesome.
But out of all your books, which one would be your like high recommendation?
That's so hard because they're all different genres and I love them all in their own way.
But you have to pick one.
I hate you so much. I guess if I were to reread, oh damn, that sucks. I'm gonna go out on a whim.
Did I change the question?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna pick Learn to Love You by Jade Hernandez.
Nice.
That's what I'm gonna pick. The romance.
So I'm going to pick one. It might be one that people won't agree with, but I'm gonna stick with it. In 5 Years, The Women's Fiction by Rebecca Surley, just because I cried at work. This book made me cry at work. So just the emotions it triggered for me, I'm picking that one.
Yeah, I think if a book can make you cry, like really, really cry, it sticks with you for a while, because the one book that made me really sob is still stuck in here.
Yeah. So I feel like that's a good book.
Yeah.
If it could bring emotions to you, right?
Okay.
Yeah, that was our February wrap up. So if you're interested in any of these books, you know, check them out. They're all really, really good. I can't complain. February was a really good book month for me.
Same.
I feel.
Same here. Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Good reading month. All right. So definitely thanks for joining us.
Yes.
Come back next time to hear more about our books. All right. Bye.